Good morning YouTube, Dave here, back out on Dartmoor again. I've come to Fernworthy Reservoir this morning. I'm actually walking alongside it now. Today's walk I'm going to be kind of circumnavigating the reservoir anti-clockwise, so heading along here to see the dam first, and then I'm going to head around the other side up into Fernworthy Forest, try and find the Froggymead stone circle, or the Fernworthy stone circle as it's also known. And then I'm going to head out onto the open moor itself, up to White Ridge and White Ridge Tor, taking the views up there hopefully, before I head back down through the forest, back to the reservoir and complete the little loop walk that we're doing today. I say a little loop walk, it's about 7 miles, so it's not that little, but it's not too long either. Look at these two, they've got beef with each other. Get it? It's funny because they're cows, and cows have beef, and beef is a slang term for arguing and fighting. You know what I mean. It was funny, I promise. Oh, it's all kicking off over there now, look. It's like sparring. I'm just dropping down now alongside the dam, which is just over there, looking quite impressive. We'll get a better view of it I think down the bottom, but we go down, cross over the South Tame River and then go up the other side. But I have heard on the other side of the reservoir, heard a cuckoo, which is the first one I've heard this year. You can normally only hear them for like a month or two. I was filming, but I don't think it would have picked up the audio because I was right over the other side of the reservoir. So see if we can get over there and, if not see the cuckoo itself, at least capture the audio for you. So for this first part of the walk I'm following the round the reservoir walk, which is well signposted, but it's easy enough to navigate. Just keep the reservoir on your left hand side, or your right hand side I suppose if you're doing it clockwise. We're going to head up here, get to Fernworthy Forest fairly soon, and then we cut away from the reservoir uphill deeper into the forest to try and find Froggymead Stone Circle, Fernworthy Stone Circle as it's also known. I think there's a stone row there as well. Oh, and now we've got some blue skies in front of us, so always a good sign. Hopefully the day's going to brighten up a little bit. There seems to be this thick layer of moss covering everything. Everything here feels ancient. The layer of moss covering some of these trees is so thick that it almost looks like the fur of some mammal. Well, we've well and truly left the reservoir behind now. I'm hiking up this trail deeper into the Fernworthy Forest, and just look at all of this that I'm walking past. It is beautiful. I know it's a bit silly, but whenever I see forests like this, like these evergreen forests with limited sunlight reaching the ground, so it makes them all very dark, and there's moss covering everything across the ground, it makes me think, oh, it's the perfect place for a werewolf, isn't it? Like, if werewolves are real, this is where they hide. And it goes right back to when I was a kid. I think I watched a movie with werewolves running around a forest like this, but can't for the life of me remember what it was called. But I do remember the werewolves and thinking like, yeah, that's the perfect place for them. And every time I see a forest like this now, I think the same thing. Like, oh, I bet there's werewolves in there. There's not, I hope. But you never know. It's opened up a bit here. I think we might have found it. I think it's just over here. It looks like it. It's a stone row and a stone circle. And it looks like it's a very clear one as well. Some of the stone circles on Dartmoor aren't very easy to see, but this one does look pretty easy to pick out. Very discernible as a stone circle. It's interesting, it's almost like these two smaller stones here form an entranceway to the circle around the rest of the stones. And the sun has come out just as I've reached it. It's incredible to think of the history behind a place like this. And I don't know exactly what that history is. I don't think anyone does exactly. Nobody can be 100% sure what these were used for, just because they didn't have written documents back then to document it. But it is amazing to think of the history that happened right here where I'm standing. This stone circle dates back to the Bronze Age, which was about 500 BC to about 2000 BC, so it's very old. When it was first excavated in the 1800s, I believe, they found a layer of like burnt ground, charred ground underneath it, so this might have been like a giant fire pit, I guess. That could have been how they worshipped their gods. It's amazing to think that now Froggymead Stone Circle is surrounded by Fernworthy Forest here in all directions, so as much as it is a lovely view around this clearing and into these trees, originally it would have been views out across Dartmoor. There is a black and white picture from when Froggymead Stone Circle was first excavated, I think back in the 1800s. And if I can find it, I'll put it on the screen now for you. And you can see just how much of a difference the forest makes to the surrounding landscape, just how much it blocks off the views of the moor. The sun came out when I first stepped into the stone circle, but I'm getting spots of rain now, so I think the ancient gods of Dartmoor might be telling me it's time to leave. But it is a pretty special place, and it is always special to find places like this on Dartmoor, because the history is just incredible. And it doesn't matter that we don't know exactly what it was used for. We know that it was extremely important to people a very, very long time ago, and that in itself is special, I think. Well, there's a couple of very interesting and ever so slightly disconcerting things that happened back at that stone circle. The first one is the rain. You saw that there was starting to rain a little bit while I was in there, and I said, oh, I'm going to leave, and with a minute of me leaving the stone circle, the rain stopped. As you can see, the sun is out now, it's glorious. Now, I can put that down to coincidence because it does rain a lot on Dartmoor, and it starts and stops on a whim, so that could be a complete coincidence. What is harder to put down as a coincidence is that probably about 10 minutes before I got to the stone circle, I looked on my phone and I had 88% battery. Having left the stone circle, I now have 61% battery. And I only spent about 5 minutes in there, and I think even if I spent the entire time that I was in there watching a video or something on my phone, in that 15 minutes of time, I don't think I would have lost 27% battery. So I don't really have an answer for that, for what happened. If you might know, let me know, but yeah, I can't think of what could have happened there. But it's a little bit disconcerting, a little bit spooky, to be honest. It's like something just drained the battery from it. So maybe there are forces at work out here that we don't yet understand. You can see there's a lot of forestry work that's been going on in this area of the forest. Because it is a working forest, that's why it's been planted. Look at this down through here. This all looks very wild and untouched, at least for a while. Sometimes you see areas like this, and maybe if you're American and you're from that area you can back me up on this, but this to me is what I picture the Pacific Northwest looking like. You know, like Washington State and Oregon and things like that. Is this what it looks like? Because this is what I imagine it looks like, but just obviously much vaster and wilder out there than we have anywhere in England, really. Dartmoor's about as vast and wild as it gets in England, apart from maybe the Lake District. That's where I'm heading on the way back. I just come down this path here, go down there on the way back, heads back down towards the reservoir. Well, if you're wondering what Dave's weird thought of the day is, other than the moss-covered trees looking like animal fur, it's that, you know that movie The Truman Show? It's like Big Brother, but for Jim Carrey on his own, and his entire life is being watched by loads of random people. Imagine if that was happening to me, and loads of random people, millions of random people across the world, were tuning in to watch me make a bloody video about my hike and my day when they've watched the whole bloody thing, because there's secret cameras up in these trees somewhere and stealth drones following me. Told you it was a weird thought, but it's something that I thought about earlier on and now I can't get it out of my head. It would be very entertaining but very stupid. I think my videos would get more views if that was the case though. We've got in front of us now open sky, open moorland it looks like. I think we're nearly there, nearly out of the forest. We've done it, we're here, out onto the open moor. There's White Ridge up above us. And look, a little herd of ponies waiting for us as well. Beautiful views out here. Oh, hell of a climb up this last section to the top of White Ridge. Yeah, very steep. And it's a lot windier out here as well, which I was expecting, to be fair, but it still catches you out a little bit. That's Fernworthy Forest back there that we've just come through. The views are amazing though. Out to my left, pan you around so you can see. Got all that out there. I think that tor rising up out of another forest over there, I think that must be Bellevator. We're on top of White Ridge now. See Fernworthy Forest stretching out all across there in front of us as well. You can see why it maybe got the name White Ridge though, because the grass here, it is almost white. It's beautiful. And over there you can see another stone circle, which I think might be grey weathers stone circle. I may be wrong on that. And behind it is Sitterford Tor. Well, I'm beating a hasty retreat back towards Fernworthy Forest because, as much as you can see, plenty of blue sky back there behind me. Look at that, lovely. Shining on the hills behind me there, glowing golden. That's where the wind's coming from, over that way. And the wind has just picked up. And it is raining, as you can probably tell. I do have waterproofs in my bag, but I'm hoping I won't need them. I'm hoping it's gonna blow over pretty quickly and I can get back into the forest before any rough stuff hits, if it is going to hit. But look, you can see the clouds blowing in low now over that way. It is transforming the landscape. You can barely see Bellevator now out there. It's practically hidden in the clouds. So yeah, let's get back down to the gate, try and get some shelter. Here it comes. You can't write that, can you? Just made it back into the forest and the rain's pretty much stopped. Typical Dartmoor! No, I love it really. Glorious sunshine now, blue skies up above. Typical that is, isn't it? When I was out in the open moor, as soon as I got out there, clouds came in, rain started coming down. Now I'm back in the relative shelter of the forest and it's blue sky and sunny. Dartmoor in a nutshell for you. Well, we're leaving Fernworthy Forest behind now and joining up with the round the reservoir trail again. And this is still the forest off to our right here, but we're leaving the forest trails is what I mean. And yeah, we'll soon link up with the reservoir again just up here, and there'll be a nice easy stroll back to the car. Got about a mile left now. The birds have been relentless today and it's been wonderful. She's been singing all morning. I also haven't seen another person for this entire walk other than right at the very beginning. Thank you very much for joining me on today's walk. And a special shout out to one of my subscribers, Tess. She's not very well at the moment, so she can't get out and hike for herself, unfortunately, but she said that Fernworthy Reservoir and Froggymead Stone Circle were two of her favourite places on Dartmoor, where she spent a lot of time. So I hope I've done them justice for you. Thank you to all of you for watching. Leave a comment down below on where you'd like me to go next, and I'll see you again soon for another adventure. Cheers.